Hey, what's going on, guys? Man, Goose here, man, and coming back at you the video, and this is gonna be my mock NFL draft. Never done one of these before, so I'm sure it's gonna stink. I'm sure I'm gonna get a bunch wrong, but hey, it is what it is. So, all right, let's jump right off the bat. Now, this is gonna be as the order as it is now. I'm not gonna do any trades. However the draft order is currently, that's how I'm going to do the draft. But before I get started, if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also ring that bell, click all notifications. All right, let's get right down to it. So, like I said, this is going to be just as the draft order as is. First is the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals, I have them picking Joe Burrow. I think hometown guy. Of course, won the national championship last year with LSU, won the Heisman Trophy. I think this is a no-brainer for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they have to go and pick Joe Burrow, and then they're gonna have to address some things also, offensive line, because Joe Burrow is not just gonna be the end all savior for them. But I have them picking Joe Burrow. All right, number two on the list is the Washington Redskins. Now, Redskins last year picked Haskins, so I don't think they're gonna go quarterback. I know there's some talks of them picking Tua. I don't think they're going to go that. I think they have to go Chase Young. Chase Young, that outstanding defensive lineman from Ohio State. So I have the Redskins picking Chase Young. All right. Then we got Detroit Lions. I have the Detroit Lions. Some of their needs are cornerback, stuff like that. So I actually have the Lions picking a cornerback. Has them picking up Jeff Okuda from the Ohio State. Now he's the top-rated cornerback in the draft, so I have him going to the Detroit Lions. Well, I think that'd be a good pick for Detroit. All right, that's next on the list is the New York Giants. Now, New York Giants, of course, they picked Daniel Jones last season, so of course they're not gonna pick a quarterback this season. So what better position to draft to than offensive line to protect this quarterback that they hope to be their franchise. I had them picking the guy Wirfs from University of Iowa. This guy is a very good offensive lineman. So I think the Giants would go offensive line, regardless if they pick Wirfs or not. But I have Wirfs going to the New York Giants. All right, next on the list we have the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins have been active this free agency period. I mean, they have been signing players left and right. Of course, they have the most money to spend. I think they had like $82 million in money to spend this offseason. So, yeah, the Dolphins are making moves, and of course, the Dolphins they need their quarterback of the future. Who are they going to draft? You got Justin Herbert, you have Tua, you have Jordan Love, you know, a bunch of quarterbacks that are in the draft here. But Joe Burrow went number one. I have Dolphins taking Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, so I have Tua going over to the Miami Dolphins. That brings up the Chargers. Chargers next in line. Chargers just got just no, they let Philip Rivers go. He went to the Indianapolis Colts. So you would think the Chargers looking for a quarterback, right? I think so as well. I have the Chargers drafting Justin Herbert from the University of Oregon. I think that's I think that's a good pick for the Chargers, and I think that's probably the pick they need to make as a quarterback. All right, next on the list we have the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers coming in. Of course, they got a new head coach, Matt Rule. They brings in Joe Brady. Joe Brady coaches Saints. He coached LSU. LSU won the national championship last year. So I don't think they're going to go. I don't think they're going to go offense since they got Bridgewater from the Saints. I think they're going to go defense, and I would go after Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons is from Clemson. He's from the area, around that area. I know it's North Carolina, South Carolina, but anyways, I have Isaiah Simmons going to the Carolina Panthers. All right, next on the list is the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, of course, they made that trade for DeAndre Hopkins. They have Kyler Murray, so they have their quarterback, they have the receiver. What do they need? I think they need to work on the offensive line. That's why I have them picking the offensive lineman from the University of Alabama, Jedrick Wills. I think Arizona should go offensive line. Of course, there's a bunch of choices that they can make here, but that's the guy I have them picking is Jedrick Wills, offensive line from Alabama. All right, next on the list is we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they a few years ago they had a very good defense. A few years ago, I think it's fallen off. I think they need to go defense. I think the Jags need to go defense. So that's why I have them taking the defensive lineman from Auburn. I have them taking Derek Brown. Derek Brown is a phenomenal defensive line player for Auburn. I mean, he raised havoc against Alabama. He raised havoc against when Auburn played LSU. So he's a beast in the middle, and I have the Jaguars taking Derek Brown. All right, next on the list is the Cleveland Browns. Of course, the Cleveland Browns. Last year all the hoopla. They were going to win. They were going to win the North AFC North. That didn't happen. They didn't even get to the playoffs. They got a lot of dysfunctional players on that football team. That's for another video. But the Browns. I think the Browns should go defense. I think the Browns should go defense. That's why I had them taking the safety from the University of Alabama, Xavier McKinney. I think this would be a good pickup for the Browns. I think, I think because they have offense. They have Mayfield, they have Odell Beckham, they have Jarvis Landry. I think they have enough on offense if they can get that. If they can get that side figured out, I think defense is a good pick for Cleveland. So have them picking Xavier McKinney. Okay, next on the list is the New York Jets. The New York Jets, they've been needing players for seems like forever. They're always a team that's just not that good. They went to the NFC title game a few years in the past, like 15 years, but I don't know, just the Jets. I don't know. What do they need? I think they need to work on their. I think they need a defense. In my opinion, that's. I looked on some reports. They said they need linebacker help. They need stuff like that. So I had them picking Clavion Chason, the linebacker from LSU. I think he'd be a good pickup for the Jets. Chason was a very. I know he didn't put up a lot of stats last season, but this guy is a good player, and I think with the right system in the NFL, I think he could really blossom in the NFL. Let's look at Daniil Hunter. Daniil Hunter really wasn't, like he was now with the Vikings. Excuse me. So I'd pick Clavion Chason. All right, so now we go to the Oakland Raiders. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Scratch that. Las Vegas Raiders. Excuse me. I got to check that. Las Vegas Raiders. So of course the Raiders went and they picked up Marcus Mariota. So they're not going to want to go pick offense. I'm sorry, quarterback. So I don't think the Raiders are going to do that since they went and got Marcus Mariota. Is he the right pick? Was he the right free agent to go get for the Raiders? Like I said, that's for another video itself. But for this instance, I think they should go offense. I had them taking CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver out of Oklahoma. I think he would be a great pickup for the Raiders. All right, next we got the San Francisco 49ers. Now they lost Emmanuel Sanders to the Saints a few days ago. I think they need to replace Sanders. I had them picking Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of University of Alabama. Jerry Jeudy is probably one or two. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is probably number one, but Jerry Jeudy is probably the second best receiver in this draft. That's why I have him going to San Francisco. I think that'd be a great pickup for San Francisco just because they lost Sanders. They're going to have to replace him with a young guy, Jerry Jeudy. He's going to be a phenomenal player. All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're next up on the clock. Of course, everybody knows they went out and got Tom Brady. So how long Tom Brady gonna be there? Maybe 2 years, probably for the length of the contract that he signed. So what do I think? I think they should go and get that offensive line from Louisville. What Mekhi Becton? Hope I said his name right. But that's who I have the Buccaneers taking. I think they should go out to Louisville and get that offensive lineman just to shore up the offensive line and help protect Tom Brady. All right, next we got the Denver Broncos on the list. The Broncos, their team with a bunch of needs. They Joe Flacco, got Wade, whatever. So, I mean, me personally, I think Broncos should go offense. That's why I have them taking T. Higgins, the wide receiver out of University of Clemson. T. Higgins, awesome player. Clemson has just bursted on the scene this past, 5 years, ever since the 2015 season when they played Alabama for the national championship, again that they lost. Then they won in 2017. They won in 2018. So Clemson has really built a powerhouse over there. So why not take one of their phenomenal players, T. Higgins, wide receiver out of University of Clemson, goes to the Broncos. Next on the list, we have the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons, of course, they have Julio Jones. They have they have Matt Ryan. They did get rid of their running back, so they might want to know Devontae Freeman, so they might want to go that route. But I had them going a different route. I had them picking C.J. Henderson, the cornerback out of the University of Florida. C.J. Henderson is a phenomenal cornerback from the University of Florida, and I just think he'll fit right in over there well with the Falcons, and that's why I have him going to. Excuse me. All right, so next on the list we have Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, they're locked in. They're locked in on offense. So they're locked in on offense. So I don't think they need to go an offensive route. They got Amari Cooper. They got Prescott. They got Ezekiel Elliott. So I don't think offense is the way to go. I had them picking Trevon Diggs from the University of Alabama. I think that'll be a good pickup for Dallas to really shore up their defense and really maybe help them make the next step into the playoffs. All right, so next we got on the list, we got the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins picking again in the second round. They got their quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa with the first pick and their first pick in the draft. Excuse me. So who I think they should pick next? Why not pick offensive line? I mean, you're gonna have to protect Tua. Andrew Thomas, offensive line out of Georgia. That's who I had them picking. Good offensive lineman out of the University of Georgia. So like I said, you got your quarterback. You supposedly franchise quarterback in Tua. You're gonna have to get him. You're gonna want to protect him. So why not pick offensive line? Because you got two picks in this first round. So do that. All right. So next on the list is the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. I had them pick CD Lamb with the first pick that they had in the draft. In this draft. Second pick, I have them going defense. I have them picking Christian Fulton, cornerback of LSU. Stingley got a lot of the pub for LSU with a lot of which he should have. But Fulton was also was a good cornerback. You really rarely heard his name called during games, and when you don't hear a cornerback's name called during a game, usually he's doing his job. I have Christian Fulton going to the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars are up next. They have two picks in the first round. I had them I had them defense the first pick because Derek Brown. I thought Derek Brown would go high. That's why I had him pick. This time I do have them going offense. I had them picking AJ Terrell, wide receiver out of the University of Clemson. So they got their defensive player in the first pick, all because I think Derek Brown is that good. Derek Brown would have gone to one of those other teams if the Jags hadn't taken him in the first round. So, all right, so AJ Terrell is going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the Philadelphia Eagles are up next on the clock. Who I had them taking? I think they need to go offense. I think they need some receiver help. That's why I had them picking Justin Jefferson, receiver out of LSU. Jefferson had a phenomenal season last season with LSU. Of course, a lot of Jamar Chase had it. Joe Burrow, blah blah blah. You go down the line for LSU. I think Justin Jefferson would be a good fit with Philadelphia. All right. Next, we got the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings lost Stephon Diggs in a trade. So who should they go with? I think they need to replace him. That's why I had them picking Denzel Mims, wide receiver out of Baylor. So I just think that'd be a good pick for Minnesota since they lost Stephon Diggs. They're going to need to replace that production. All right, next on the list is the New England Patriots. Patriots, their team. I think they're in full rebuild mode. They lost them off. Of course, they lost Tom Brady. They lost some defensive players. That's why I think they need to restock on defense. That's why I have them picking with AJ Epsina from the defensive end from Iowa. He had 11.5 sacks last season, so I think AJ would be a great player for the Patriots. They're gonna need to shore up that defense because they lost some players. All right, on the clock is the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints is picking at 24. I would like them to pick receiver at this moment, but as you can see, a lot of receivers have gone ahead of them in my mock draft. So obviously they can't pick receiver. Now, of course, they might trade up in the real draft, but for this draft, everybody's picking as is. So the Saints do need linebacker help other than receiver. Now they did get Emmanuel Sanders. I think they still need to get another younger receiver somewhere else because Emmanuel Sanders it's only a 2-year deal, so they're going to need somebody else down the line. But for me, I think they need to pick linebacker. They do need linebacker help. That's why I had them picking Patrick Queen out of LSU. Patrick Queen really came on the last half of the season, had a phenomenal national championship game against Clemson. So I think this would be a good pickup for the Saints because they do need some linebacker help. Anzalone is never healthy for the Saints. So I just think that this is a good pick for the Saints, and I think Patrick Queen should do well at the next level. All right. Next on the list is the Minnesota Vikings. They have 2 picks in the first round. I had them picking a defensive end from I think this guy from Penn State is Yetur Gross Matos. Hope I said his name right. Probably didn't, but I apologize. But yeah, I have them Minnesota picking him with their second pick as a Vikings. So they got the wide receiver as their first pick here in the first round. So I think they should go defense, and I picked this guy Gross Matos, who was a good player for Penn State. All right, next we got on the list is the Miami Dolphins. 3 picks in the first round. They already went to offense twice in my mock draft. I'm gonna have them picking defense. Ashton Davis from the safety from California, University of California. I think that they went on offense in the first 2 picks in the draft. Let's go and pick defense with your third pick. They got 3 picks in the first round. It'd be interesting to see if they do pick 3 times in the first round, or whether they trade back and try to acquire some more late round picks. That's probably what's going to happen in the real draft. I mean, they probably won't draft 3 times in the first round because you can trade back and really pick up some more picks. So they might do that in real draft. Like I said, for this draft, we're going as is. All right, next on the list is the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're going to go. I think they in my draft, I had them going defense. Terrell Lewis, defensive end from University of Alabama. I think that'd be a good pick for Seattle. Alabama, they just put players in and out in the NFL. They got a factory over there. Nick Saban, since he's been there. All right, then we got the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens up on the list as I had them picking the linebacker from Wisconsin, Zach Baun, Baun. So that's who I have the Tennessee Titans picking. Titans, they have Tannehill, they have Derrick Henry. Yeah, a lot of people think Tannehill got a lot of money, too much money. I'm in that boat, but why not? I'm sorry, gotta hit my list here. Sorry, this is the Ravens. Excuse me, I'm talking about the Ravens. I apologize. The Ravens. I had them picking a Zach Baun, the linebacker out of Wisconsin. I look at the wrong sheet here. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the Ravens. Yeah, of course they got Lamar Jackson. So I mean, I don't think they're gonna go offense. They got Mark Ingram at running back. So I think they're pretty set on offense. So I had the Ravens stocking up on their defense, picking Zach Baun, linebacker out of Wisconsin. All right, now next on the list. Now here we go. Tennessee Titans. Here we go. Tennessee Titans. Of course, they got Derrick Henry, Tannehill. Tannehill got a big contract this past free agency period. So I have them picking the defensive end from Notre Dame, but Julian Okura. Hope I said his name right. Okwara. So that's who I have Tennessee picking. All right, then we got the Green Bay Packers. Next on the list. So I think In my draft, I think they need to go wide receiver. I think this would be the best fit with Aaron Rodgers. I had them picking the wide receiver from Arizona State. This guy had almost 1,200 yards receiving last season. People probably didn't see him that much because he plays out in the West Coast. So with Brandon Ayuk, Ayuk. So I have them. I have them picking. So I have the Green Bay Packers picking with their pick. All right, then we got the San Francisco 49ers. Uh, it's their second pick in this first round, as I had them picking the cornerback out of Auburn, Noah Ugini. I think that's how you say his name. So I think San Francisco needs to. I think because they lost, they lost Buckner, Quentin Buckner. Was that his name, Buckner? I think that's his name. They lost him to the Colts. They got a loss to the Colts. His name is escaping me. But so the 49ers, they need to really shore up on that side of the ball. And that's a good pick. All right, next on the pick is the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And I had them picking defense also. Quarterback out of TCU, Jeff Gladney. So I think that's I think the Chiefs. I think they're pretty much set on offense. So I think that's the guy that they need to go with on defense is Jeff Gladney, cornerback out of TCU. So there it is. There's my mock draft, my first one. So I'm sure I missed on a bunch of guys. Sure it's not going to go that way, but if I butchered some names, I apologize. So have a great one, guys, and I will chat with you next time.